Ladies, gamers, and gentlemen, welcome to BelleNOiR's Starcraft 2 casts. And in this cast, we're going to be witnessing the clash between Mouse Sports Mana and Fnatic Minirazer. Mana going to be spawning on Aquilon Wastes in the bottom right position as the red Protoss player. Minirazer playing Zerg in blue colors in the top left. The game is away. Now on this map, what I really want to see is Mana going to be going for a gateway expand or a forge expand. Just by the positioning of the pylon here inside his own base, I have to assume that this is going to be a gateway expansion. And now the reason why this has such a huge impact on the game is because when you're going with a Forge Fast Expand, you practically say to your Zerg opponent, I'm going to give you 6 to 8 minutes to do whatever the hell you want. Because with a Forge Fast Expansion, you are giving up, in large part, any aggressive options that you as a Protoss player may have versus the Zerg. Now, of course, Minirazer, he will be very likely taking a natural expansion after he gets this pool, and will be looking to scout Mana's opening. That is the thing that he has to know about almost immediately. Now, this Overlord is suited to do just that. It will arrive at the natural expansion to see if there are any buildings in at this ramp as part of the wall off. Which there aren't going to be. Mana getting a quick second gas as well, that is interesting to me. And meanwhile, just going to be happy denying the expansion of Minirazer from going down. A nice block there with the probe, and still surviving, just for the time being. Put on patrol, but it has no shields currently, and has to be really careful. Oh, another block there by the probe. Even a pylon going down. Mana trying to force his opponent maybe to take an expansion down here instead of at his natural. Really wants to force him into a 3-base play. Let's see if he ends up cancelling that pylon or not. And he does end up cancelling it, and as a result, Minirazer going to get his natural expansion down. Lings are on the map and going to kill this probe very easily. There it goes down. Minirazer, of course, already knows that there is no forge here, and it is a gateway expansion. Zealot gonna be popping out of the gateway, and Mana currently just waiting for that 400 minerals so that he can drop down his Nexus. There we go. And Minirazer, he will be getting gas because, frankly, he's going to need it. Compared to a Forge Fast Expand, the Warp Gate research is going to be much faster, which will give Mana the opportunity to try and go for some kind of pressure or maybe a full-on 2-base attack against Minirazer using gateway units. And, you know, versus that, you either want to have roaches ready or you want to have link speed really quickly. So it's either a fast link speed or a really fast roach warren, and Minirazer going to be going with the speed, which is really very common, so no surprises there. Mana getting 2 additional gates. Overlord, or Overlords should I say, in position to scout Mana's base. Mana just pressuring lightly right now with a Zealot Stalker and a Mothership Core. Already has a proxy pylon, so he's going to be going for a 3-gate attack here onto Minirazer. Does even get this one link that was trying to circle around the units and maybe make its way over to the main base, or maybe even the natural, to scout the number of gateways there. As Minirazer, I don't think he knows. No, he doesn't know how many gateways there are. He doesn't have a 3rd base though. This push is by and large designed to punish a fast 3rd base by the Zerg player, but Minirazer playing this really smartly. So not getting a 3rd base. This will of course nullify any pressure by Mana. Because pushing up a ramp into a natural expansion with this few units is not really good to do as a Protoss player. Mana going to just check this location in case there is a third base there. And very smartly not warping any units, instead getting a Stargate straight up, deciding not to waste the minerals, but Minirazer as well, because he did not take that third base, he did not have to make additional Zerglings to defend, so only making a couple, and he's going to be pretty happy with how the game is going so far. Did scout the main base, didn't see anything, but there is a Stargate here at the ramp. Mothership Core forced to throw down a Time Warp there just to survive versus those two queens, and they will be making their way through. Cannot chase the Mothership Core off creep though, so Mothership Core is going to be safe to get away, but a whole lot of lings right now produced by Minirazer. Of course, Mana knows about this. Will not be able to get the third base up though, as he was intending to do, but the Stargate is up and an Oracle will pop out of the base very shortly here. Minirazer still not finding out about that pylon and still producing more and more lings. Maybe he will try to go for a side attack, kicking down these rocks or maybe clawing at them and breaking those down. Mana getting a forge, that will help him secure his third base quite nicely. With a late forge, when you do this, you have to have sentries, because in case a high number of lings starts eating away at your wall at the natural ramp, obviously you don't want a door to be created there. And without cannons, force fields are the only thing that will keep those Zerglings at bay if there is a really high number of them. Meanwhile, the Oracle damages the Queen quite a bit and gets 6 kills on the drones. So nice moves here by Minirazer. Mana, knowing about these lings, going to be chasing them away with the Gateway Army. Does have a Zealot hold position here at the front, so cannon going up and a Nexus will be initiated here any second. The foundations will be laid down. Mana continuing this into Void Rays, who are, Void Rays are really good versus a Roach follow-up, which is not really what Minirazer is doing. And a good engagement for Minirazer, actually forcing a lot of force fields, killing a decent number of sentries, might even get one more here. Oh my goodness, Mana losing every single one of those sentries there. And now Minirazer will even get those links inside the main base, will not see anything here. And yeah, he sees the forge working, but nothing much else. Oh yeah, he did see the Stargate, alright, so he knows what is up, and of course he did see the Oracle in his main base, so he's got a good number of information. Infestation bit going up for him, 2-2 upgrades on the way for the Zerg player. He's playing this really mass Link style into a quick hive, so I expect Ultralisks will be coming on later on in the game. Nice job there, utilizing that end vision, but Sentry is completely caught out of position, forces Mana to recall back home to his natural expansion, and he will have to defend for a little bit here. There is a wall constructed, or beginning to be constructed, at the third base, as well as the rocks blocking the entrance for those links. So this is now fully walled off, and Minirazer, he's getting a hive. A very quick hive. 2-2 will be kicking in about a minute. The hive should be completed by then, so Minirazer can move on into 3-3 immediately and put down that Ultralisk cavern if he so chooses. And he is producing more and more queens. This is brilliant move from Minirazer, because queens are relatively good versus Void Rays. So he will use his mass Ling style and Ultralisks to kill off the ground army, and he will use the queens to kill off the Void Rays. Nice snipes here though by Mana, killing quite a number of creep tumors, but with this number of queens that we have, Minirazer will have no problems replacing those as we go along. Nice micro as well. Now Mana, he is going full out Sky Toss, I feel like. Well, not full out, because he is getting a second robo facility, and I think he already has gotten the robotics bay. Yes, he has. That is being scouted though by Minirazer, who does have an Overseer somewhere out on the map and is able to drop Changelings. And we'll see pretty much everything. Nice going by Minirazer, who now has a really big army of Lings. Or will have in a moment here. 32 Lings out on the field, taking a 4th base. Ultralisk Cavern on the way, 3-3 on the way as well. I'm just waiting for the Adrenal Glands and Chitinous Plating to be queued up by Minirazer. And that was a batch of 12 drones that just now left the hatcheries. Now, how is Mana going to respond to this? He is getting Immortals. Good response by Mana. He did see the Ultra Cavern going down, so... Oh, and he is harassing with the War Prism as well. That will force Minirazer to split up his army a little bit. But not much else beyond that. And Mana, his composition, well, he's got 4 Void Rays, and he stopped producing them altogether because he knows they are not going to be as useful versus that many Queens. And you know, with this style that Minirazer is playing, with Queens you can defend versus Void Rays, and you can also transfuse the Ultralisks once you move out with the army. Multiple Spine Crawlers going down and a Spore Crawler here, so Minirazer will be able to defend that base quite easily there. Zealots being unloaded into the main base, but the War Prism almost gets taken out, and now those Zealots are pretty much, well, they're cornered, and they will die. At the same time, Void Rays still active out on the map, still trying to do something. Mana adding on Temple Archives, wants to go into Storm, wants to go into Archons, and is working off of 2 Forges, he's getting +2 attack, +1 armor. But Minirazer, his timing is almost here. He's even adding on Vipers. I really like this choice, because with Blinding Clouds, you can limit what the Protoss army can do on the ground greatly. And this also synergizes very well with the Link Ultralisk army that Minirazer has currently. Because once the Blinding Clouds are down, he will be able to force an engagement in close quarters, which is exactly what he wants. He wants to force the Protoss units to close into the Ultralisks and Lings so that he can kill that off faster. That is why Storm is going to be so important, as well as feedbacks. Now the Void Rays will go ahead, check for the expansion here, probably will force a cancel on that. The Queens are far away from that position. Mana constantly scouting with the Oracle, nice going here. Minirazer finally knowing about that pylon there. And yeah, the base was killed off, or cancelled. Oh, nice! Very nice Revelation cast here on those Ultras. Will probably deter Minirazer from attacking, because there is nothing worse than attacking while your opponent has vision of your units. Revelation causes the Protoss player to have vision of units that the spell is cast upon. And we can see that Mana knows exactly where the units are. Tries to go in again with the War Prism, but with the Spine Crawlers here, not going to be as effective. May get this gas though, that's a good pickup for Mana, as he will limit the gas income of his opponent in a small way, but he will. And Minirazer, well, he is almost maxed. Mana almost maxed as well for both players. The banks are starting to rise. Mana needs a 4th base, as Minirazer is getting his 5th. And he needs a good engagement. Look at the creep spread by Minirazer. That is so insane. That will make those Queens even faster, and ideally Minirazer will want to engage on that creep so that he has a easier time to transfuse the Ultras, which there are 9 of. Oh my goodness. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have 18 Banelings morphing right now. Adrenal Glands on the way. Pneumatized Carapace only just now getting researched. Pretty late into the game, but it is researched. That will make those Overlords a little bit faster. This base, however, will be picked off by the Void Rays. Very nice usage of Void Rays by Mana. The entire army of Minirazer is pulling back to try and defend the Greater Spire currently, though. as there is one Zealot wailing away at that. Will get blasted to smithereens by 2 Baning explosions. This base, though, has been taken out. The Queen's off creep, as I said, cannot chase up to the Void Rays nor the Mothership Core, so that will have to survive. But the War Prism will go down, so good job by Minirazer defending. Army supplies showing 121 versus 122, pretty close. And the composition is very good for both of these players as well. Mana on 7 Immortals, 4 Colossi, and a lot of Storm. He's got a very expensive army, but oh no! All of the Void Rays getting caught by the Fungals, and all of those will go down. Another Fungal locking them in place, and Mana just lost a sizable chunk of his army, as well as units that would have helped versus the Ultralisks, as the Ultras cannot jump up and kill units in the air. Now, Minirazer's army is almost entirely, or should I say entirely, composed of Queen's Ultralisks and Banelings. Couple Vipers in there for Blinding Clouds, or maybe Abducts, maybe even both, as Mana is getting cornered really hard. I mean, the creep is all the way at his base. Mana taking the opportunity to build a couple more gateways here to form a partial wall. We also have Tempests on the field right now, but not very many of them. Mana getting his 4th base up finally, as Minirazer is preparing to engage. The Tempests will be able to push the creep back ever so slightly, but Minirazer has the whole map to himself. Another harassment here with a War Prism that had to warp in Zealots all the way here because of these spores. So now Minirazer, oh, nice Abduct on the Tempest, will go down, maybe. With another Abduct, it very well could, but the Queens are getting too close to the Colossus lines, and we'll have to pull back. But one more Abduct is being used on the Tempest. And the Vipers currently are out of energy, cannot do any more Abducts nor Blinding Clouds, so we'll have to go back and gather up some more energy with this little spell, which is called Consume. What that does is it siphons HP from your own buildings and transforms it into energy for the caster unit, which is the Viper. The upgrades for both of these players are insane as well. Mana even sacrificing a couple of his probes as he realizes he will not be using that many. He wants to free up a little bit of that supply to warp in more units. He is still at 67 probes though, so he is on full 3-base saturation. The 4th base is mining away, and this is do or die for Mana, because it will be very difficult for him to take a 5th base up there, not even talking about the base here. I mean, Minirazer, he can just start building expansions left, right, as he pleases, and he is doing just that. Mana deciding that he had enough of this, and he's trying to break out of the contain. But still, those Vipers are lurking, and we might have an engagement very soon here. And Minirazer goes for it. Nice Storm on the Banelings, nullifying all the damage they could have done. Look at the Ultralisks evaporating ever so quickly, but the Blinding Clouds force the Protoss army back. The Ultras are still fighting in close quarters at contact range and are eating away at the shields of the Colossi. Mana's supply plummeting quickly, but so is Minirazer's, and now that he lost all of his units, he has to pull back. But look at what he's remaxing at right now. 22 Corruptors on the way, and I feel like that's almost entirely going to be Broodlords. Huge Zealot Warpit from Mana as well from the bottom side, coming into this 7 o'clock location. Try to take out this base from Minirazer, but I don't think that will work. Minirazer is coming in here with the Queens. There's a lot of spines, a lot of transfuses available. At the meantime, Mana is pushing towards the top and probably will try to take out as many bases as possible. Veering towards the right, this hatchery will be his prime target, as the Zealots are continues to be warped in. Some Zerglings for defense here as well, and Mana switching into, wow, Phoenix production instead of Void Rays, probably because there's so many Queens. But with these Corruptors and 12 Broodlords that just now morphed, This is going to be really hard for Mana to deal with. I mean, he does have quite a lot of storms banked up. He has 4 Archons. His upgrades are insane, but if he cannot get underneath the Broodlords without losing the majority of his army, that's going to be quite difficult. Now, currently these Zealots are going to push the Queens back, encounter the Broodlords, go back, try to finish off this hatchery before they are killed off. And the drones, will they even try to find one transfuse, second one, third one? Come on, Minirazer, you can do it, you can do it. Oh my goodness, Minirazer holds. Oh, this hatchery on 22 hit points, 1 or 2 swipes of the Zealot Psyblades away from dying. Meanwhile, a couple of random infestors getting torn to pieces by the Zealot, but wow, Minirazer saving even this one infestor with 14 hit points. Meanwhile, Mana being allowed to take a 5th base up here, and he really needed that because his main base is mined out, minerals as well as the gases. But does he have an answer to these Broodlords? Will he have the answer out in time? I don't think he will. This base will probably be denied by the hordes of Zerglings making their way over there. Phoenix is not doing too well versus the Corruptors, and as the Broodlords are closing in on Mana's stronghold, he will have a tough time defending. Probes are being pulled back. The expansion is being let go of, and Mana in a very good position here above the high ground. I mean, Minirazer, Mana will have a lot of trouble engaging that. He is on 4 Stargates right now, and he's producing as many units as possible. Tempest, Void Rays, you name it. Problem is, he cannot kill the Corruptors currently, and therefore cannot kill the Broodlords. There are also Infestors with Fungals beneath those, protecting them and the Queens for transfuses. Mana backed into a corner. Good storm on those Corruptors, but not enough. Not killing very many units, and Minirazer transfusing immediately. Meanwhile, a huge Zergling run by into the main base, targeting down the fleet beacon. 3rd base falling for Mana. Broodlords getting the army between a rock and a hard place, and Mana has to go for it, but this will be a last heroic charge of the Protoss army. The Golden Armada going to fall here. Look how many storms Mana had, almost killing all of the Corruptors. That's a good thing for Mana, but the problem is he will not be able to kill those Queens. There are 9 Queens here for transfuses and anti-air versus those Tempests. And the ground army has been killed off almost all of it has been killed off right now. The main base is being ravaged by Zerglings. And Minirazer is going to push in for the win, as Mana has no units that can counter these Broodlords effectively. 27 more Corruptors on the way? Are you kidding me? Wow. Minirazer, you and your economy, that's more powerful than the US deficit. Yeah, and right now Mana just trying to micro to the best of his ability, but not going to work very well. Not versus these Corruptors joining up with the Broodlords. And once these 3 Tempests fall, it's going to be curtains. Trying to kite back from the army, but those Corruptors, they are looking for targets. They are hungry. GG, well played. Called by Mana, as Minirazer takes the game. Wow, what a game to watch indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is BelleNOiR. If you liked the game, give me a like, and if you have anything to say, just post into the comments below. And until next time, just remember to stay safe, good luck, have fun, and remember to storm first and ask questions later. Doodly-doo!